in the Spanish sun. To Haventon Waterlooville, and home comforts at Fratton, Pompey's pre-season campaign is close to culmination after Coventry made the trip down to the south coast yesterday afternoon. Over the next hour we will review all the major talking points from Pompey's pre-season ventures. We will also discuss our transfer business thus far and the impact that those players have made. And finally we'll be looking ahead to the upcoming trip to Hillsborough for our curtain raiser against Wednesday next weekend. And more broadly, welcome to your new home for 42 weeks of live Pompey discussion, debate, previews and debriefs right here on 4-0 Sunday Live. Here we go then, a very good evening to you. Nice to have you with us. It's just gone 7 o'clock Sunday evening. Hope everyone's absolutely fantastic tonight. This is it, we're going. After quite a bit of planning and we were chatting about this for a couple of months over the summer, we are finally here, ready to go. How are we? Welcome along. Thanks for being with us. It's a really big moment, this, and I'm so pleased to have so many people in already. Kevin's here. Hello too. Would you believe it? A Sheffield Wednesday fan is in the stream already, getting ready to go. We've got Cam Vlogs. Jake. Thank you, mate. We're only 3 minutes in, but he's gone big already. So there we go. Leo's excited. Hello to Graham, who said 4-0 written all over it is officially the start of the season. Bring it on, and here we go. I should say, I'll talk you through the plan initially. What we're going to do is over the next sort of 15 minutes or so is review pre-season. We're then going to move on to our transfers, ins and outs, and some movement across the league as well. After that, we're going to have a look at our season predictions. Going to invite every single one of us onto the stream. I should say, by the way, we've obviously got the boys here, which we're going to chat to in a moment. We've got plenty more waiting in the wings as well. Season predictions, and then a Sheffield Wednesday preview. We've got a very exciting guest who many of you may know already will be joining us in a minute. Can I just say, 4 minutes in and there's 145 people watching the stream, which I was not expecting at all. So thank you for being with us. Hello to Reza on Facebook. Welcome along. Benny's here as well. Hello to LS03. And Alex Griffin is watching this whilst he's driving home. So good evening to you too. We'll start with you, Brendan. Welcome, mate. Brendan's moved outside, which is very kind of him because we've got a bit of noise in the background normally. How are you, mate? And welcome along.
Yeah, Tom, thanks for having me, mate. Yeah, it's great. I'm feeling good. Looking forward to the season ahead, and looking forward to having a good old chat with you on the Sundays as well as the Saturdays.
Aaron, welcome along, mate. Nice to see you again. You've got your away strip on there from last season. Do you reckon this season's going to top that? Do we have any idea what that might be?
The away. Hi, everyone. By the way,
sorry. Welcome.
Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to seeing what our away kit is this year, because I'm not too impressed with this season's home kit. But let's see what happens. I love this kit. This kit is my favourite from the last couple of years. Since Nike took over, the first home kit we had was outstanding. Loved it. And then the last couple of years hasn't been great, but this shirt, and it's signed by the man himself. I don't know if you can see it. Ronan Curtis has actually signed it.
Amazing.
Man crush there. I think I've got on Ronan Curtis. We'll go into that later. Not the crush, obviously, but if he's going to stay or go. So looking forward to the away shirts coming out this week. So that should be very good. And glad to be back as well. 4-0. Come on.
Absolutely. Gaz was going to join us. He was there a minute ago, but he's since disappeared. I was going to add him in because the first port of call is to discuss pre-season. And I said at the very top of the show that it is close to culmination. That is because are you going to Barnet, Aaron, by the way, out of interest? Can you get there?
Well, I can get there. It's literally half hour up the road from me. But then I haven't seen anything advertised. And then all of a sudden they were playing Brighton. So I don't know what's going on at the moment. If we're playing Brighton, or if we're doing this or that, the other, I'm not sure.
It's the women's team who are playing Brighton. Women's team are playing Brighton tomorrow night.
Oh, that's right. But
we've just announced it.
Yeah, we're playing Brighton. I saw on Twitter today it's been released. It's going to be on sale on the Barnet website. The tickets.
Oh, right. In that case, then, after tonight, I'm going to get my tickets and I'm going to be going to Barnet. So.
Oh, see you there, then, mate.
It's only up the road anyway, which is good.
There you go. Good evening to Oakley Watson. Welcome onto the stream. Finishing second this season. That's something we'll chat about. Matty Cox is also in. Hello to Jug. One Rovers Vlogs, who hoping to be a guest on this very show very soon. Cameron said, welcome to 2022-23. This is just brilliant. He's probably talking about you, Brendan, there, but we'll see. Mikey said, hello, lads. Don't mind the new kit. It's annoying that it's based off the shelf dry fit top of the club. Yeah, we knew that was going to be the case, didn't we? So we shall see. We'll discuss kits in a moment. Brendan, I'm really desperate to get on to pre-season. You were at Havant and Bognor. I was at Havant with you. I was hoping Gaz was going to be here to discuss the old Spanish trip. I am going to quickly welcome in another.
Oh, he's gone.
Deleted myself. I did tell you to be sideways, mate. Oh, hang on.
Not that, Tom.
Good morning, Andrew.
How you doing, Andrew? You all right, mate?
Let me get you up there. Right, Tom?
That's better.
Yeah, good morning, chaps. How are you all?
Good, Andrew. Nice to see you. You're in the same top as Tom.
Well, this is my top, mate, and that's his.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good one. All right.
Yeah.
But Lionesses are doing well, aren't they, though?
They're definitely doing well.
Sorry to get rid of him. But I just wanted to quickly turn the lights on. We'll get him back in a minute. This will probably be a recurring theme for everyone, by the way. What we will do is kind of drag out people. I want to kind of keep it to the three on the screen, or we might sort of change it up a little bit. Brendan, tell us a little bit about what you saw at Havant, Bognor, and then just in general, the pre-season and the disappointment of Coventry as well.
Yeah, well, it started off, I think, at Havant was a good performance, actually. We played really well. We're 2-0 up at half-time and sort of cruising through it. Goals from Ronan Curtis and an own goal, but sort of Tunnicliffe kind of created it. And then second half, we brought on a lot of the sort of trialists and sort of fringe players, I'd say, as such. But a standout player for me at the moment throughout pre-season has been Jay Mingy playing centre midfield. He's been running his socks off. He's sort of, when Danny Cowley mentions players like fast, athletic, powerful, sort of Mingy is that sort of like that player that embodies that Cowley mentality and philosophy as such. With Liam Vincent's lovely
free kick. Aaron will love this. This reminded me of commentating the penalties of the Pizza Cup final. Oh, that's a bit. And people were saying lockdown vibes and all sorts. Yeah, this is brilliant. a bit of a throwback, isn't it? Sorry, carry on.
That's right, yeah. But watching back some of the highlights as well, the Liam Vincent free kick, which we thought was stunning at the time, and then I saw the camera angle from above us, from the gantry, and the keeper was had a howler there because he stood literally hugging the post, and then Vincent just went up and over the wall and into the near post. Moved on for that. Obviously went to Bognor as well, which was the Pompey 11. So we played the night before against Leyton Orient. So again, it was mainly the fringe players and academy, and went 1-0 down quite early on, and then equalised with Harry Jewett-White during just before half time. And again, a good solid performance throughout the game. Ended 1-1, which is a bit disappointing. But again, it's academy football, it's pre-season football. And a shout out in that game because we subbed on about the 60th minute mark. We brought on Joshua Onowemi, the new Spurs former Spurs goalkeeper, and he pulled off 2 fantastic saves, which I thought were great, which was really sort of gave a bit of a lift to the crowd. And yeah, overall positive so far. And again, yesterday, Coventry at home, watching the highlights through Twitter and stuff, and obviously the club saying club sort of updates and commentary on it. Joe Rafferty seemed to get in a lot of the mentions in there with crosses and blocks, and overall sound like he had a good game. If not, the performance didn't really replicate that in Pompey's side of things. And then to top it off, 81st minute penalty to Coventry. Who steps up? Tyler Walker.
There he is.
As we love it. Josh Griffiths pulls off the save with his feet, but that will do for me. As long as Tyler Walker still hasn't scored at Fratton Park, I'll keep that.
Even the Coventry manager praised Pompey completely. Said we're going to be a very good team this season. So, and that's from Coventry manager as well. And it's the same as ours, but just a lighter colour as well.
Yeah, we're going to lose you momentarily. I want to bring Gaz into the conversation. I just want to very quickly touch on our Spanish holiday that we had. Hello, good evening, mate. How are you? Hope you're well.
All good, yeah. Greetings.
Yes,
All good.
sir.
Good eatings. This is definitely lockdown vibes, and we're loving this. Jazz, we made the trip out to Spain. Obviously, it was that kind of played quite a major part of our pre-season readiness, preparedness, should we say? Obviously, with a sort of a week out training in the heat. Sorry, I should say, and culminating in the match on the Saturday. Just wondered what your reflections are a couple of weeks on, and how much that played a part in our pre-season.
Yeah, first of all, it's good to be back. You know, speaking to fellow Pompey fans. Obviously, I'm living in Malta, so there's not many out here. But obviously, when I get over to England, I get to meet up with you and some of the guys from the stream. So, yeah, this is a very lockdown vibe type stream. But yes, like you say, we went out to Spain. Obviously, I was there visiting my daughter, so it was really handy that Pompey were out there at the time, and it was really good. Well, for you, 24 hours, wasn't it? It was. Really good to meet the boys. Danny Cowley was really forthcoming. He spoke to us, and he was open about what he wanted, and he had his aspirations for the for what he wanted to do this season. And obviously, we got to watch the game. We watched the game the night before, which was the Coventry game. We didn't see Tyler Walker score his 2 goals. Luckily, we went to a nice little place on the beach and enjoyed the hospitality that they were offering us. But overall, I was impressed with the heat, how they coped with the heat in Spain. Because I know we had 3 30-minute halves, wasn't it, that they played. And you could already see a bit of a gelness there already, a bit of togetherness there. Obviously, some people already thinking about going, because obviously Harness, even though he played his socks off, I thought, during that game. Obviously, we've lost him now. But yeah, from that game to obviously, I've not seen any games since then because they've not done any iFollow really any games. Like I watched the Bristol game, but the guy that was a good stream actually. The Bristol City one, yeah, and they look like they're progressing, and it looks like there's some nice combinations going on there, and it looks like Danny's got his mojo back because he looks happy now. Yeah, because it's. We feed off how he feels, really, isn't it? It's like if he's down, we pick up on it, And looking at these last few interviews that he's been getting, that he's been given, it's interesting to see how, how he reacts to the fans. We want him to succeed, and we want Pompey to be in the Championship / Premier League. We got brick by brick, we're making it. So yeah, I'm impressed at the moment. So.
Good news. This week could make or break our season regarding signings and squad depth. If we're challenging for promotion, we have to make signings quick, especially as Wednesday will be a promotion 6-pointer. We are going to come on to signings in just a moment or two. I want to say to Richard as well, he's joined the stream. So the new South stand looks great at the moment. Richard's not even a Pompey fan, and he's even commenting on the stand. And I've seen a couple about the stand as well. So we will get onto that in just a moment. Aaron, if you could summarise Pompey's pre-season preparations in one word, what would you say that word would be?
Epic.
Nice. And out of 10?
Nicely. Yeah, definitely. I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed what I've seen, what I've heard from the manager. I've tried to keep off of social media completely throughout the summer, through when we finish the season, because certain social medias is very toxic with some of our fans. So I thought, no, let's just forget about that. Every so often I have looked and made a little comment here and there, but I've kept away from it and just seen what the club are doing, what the owners have said on Twitter, what Danny said, what we've said in our chats and everything as well. But I'm very pleased with it. I'm very pleased with what we're doing, what we're progressing. The team, well, especially in Spain, what I've seen in the clips and everything, they looked like they've been playing with each other for years. The togetherness is amazing. And it's something that I haven't seen for a while at Fratton Park and with the team, which it makes me very, very comfortable and very excited for. So roll on Saturday. Well, roll on when we're playing Barnet, so I can actually see him in person. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this season. Very looking forward.
You want to get yourself ready for Barnet, mate, because that is coming around very quickly. I believe that's the next game that will be.
I think so. If it's Tuesday, I think it might be Tuesday actually. So Is it Tuesday?
There we go.
I'm not sure.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
The problem with the with the live streams is if we say something and then automatically it'll be like a million comments going, yes, it's Tuesday. Remember, it's Tuesday. Don't forget it's Tuesday. Right, gents, thanks for the moment. Stay right there. We're going to invite everybody back in and we're going to have a bit of a transfer talk. Before we do so, this is obviously means absolutely nothing right now, but we are currently above Sheffield Wednesday. Whether that will have changed by next weekend or not, we do not know. There's only a couple of the pre-season games on there as well, but that's regardless of that. I thought we'd try and bring everyone in. Obviously, Andrew's not bothered to stay on his phone, so we'll just leave him there for the time being. I don't know if he's around or not, but we'll leave him there for now. Gentlemen, hi everyone, welcome along. Great to have you all finally with us. I think what we'll do is we will remove that for the time being, just so everyone can see everyone and speak to everyone. His microphone is on, so I am just going to mute him as well, just in case we get a little bit of feedback. And that's not going to let me mute him, is it? Yes, it is. Right, amazing. So what we need to talk about is we'll kick off with Marlon Pack, the homecoming. We'll bring in Mr. Hayward on this one because he hasn't been able to make a contribution yet. Nice to see you a couple of days ago, mate. Thoughts on Marlon and how important that could be for us moving forward?
Yeah, it's great to be here. Hello, chaps. And hello, everyone on the stream. Very much lockdown vibes, as some of you have touched on. It's very funny to see you all on screen again. Yeah, Marlon Pack, I think the bloke is mustard, and I reckon he's going to be, one of the best players for us this season. I saw someone comment, we haven't had a midfielder. He doesn't think like him or like Michael Doyle since Michael Doyle. And I think Marlon Pack is that, but just the leagues above, which is exactly what we need in quality at the moment. I think he'll make the midfield tick. I think it's important we play the right people next to him in the right formations. So I think that Morel and Pack could be a really good partnership when Morel is fit. But yeah, I just think he's a great addition, adds experience. He's obviously got championship quality, played most of his games his whole career in the championship. So yeah, it can't be a bad sign. And it sounds like he's very much vocal on the pitch as well, from what people have been saying on socials. So yeah, can't be a bad thing.
And the other major incoming at Pompey, Brendan, was Colby Bishop, who's only been confirmed in the last week or so. I don't know if you guys would have seen it. I think you probably will have done because I'd sent it into the chat and we were chatting about the video of Danny describing the process, and big shout out to Simon Bassey for all the work that he put into getting that one over the line. How do we feel about Colby Bishop's arrival from Accrington down to Pompey, Brendan? I don't think we need to worry about spending time on the whole Blackpool story because I think that was fabricated by journos up and down the land. And actually the true story that Danny's told us is the actual one and the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So the impact that Colby Bishop might have, Brendan, and the kind of the way in which he's going to help Pompey's season get going and really get rocking this year.
Definitely, I think he's a massive signing. You can tell by the way I saw the fan base has welcomed him, and obviously the fact that that championship side were after him in that as well. He's done a great job at Accrington, and the way sort of Danny's gone to his defenders and said, "Who's the worst bloke you played against last season? Who's like not the worst, but who gave you the biggest nightmare, the biggest headache?" And they all said Colby Bishop. So that's the biggest compliment we can go. And if our defenders struggle to handle him, and obviously played well against us, seeing him the both times if we played against him, he's top signing, and hopefully he can bring that quality to the side this year and get us up the table and hopefully up to promotion.
Gaz, one of the key positions is between the sticks, as we know, and we were obviously thinking with the outgoing Bazunu to somewhere that must not be named, what were we going to do? Was it going to be Bass's time? I keep looking down at my phone because I understand that there is going to be imminent news regarding Bass's future at a football club elsewhere. I don't believe it's a League One club. I think it is a little bit below that. Before we do, Adam has just commented. He's I nearly put him in timeout there, but he's on there. He should be joining us. I don't think he is. I think he's been on a date tonight, so unfortunately he's not going to be here.
Get your priorities right, mate. Come on.
He's got to get himself sorted out. He's on the train ready to go. Hello. You need to press enter studio for it to work. Oh. There we go. You should be coming back in.
We'll be doing this long
get out of the room quick. There's going to be massive feedback. Oh, my word. Sorry, everyone. Oh, lovely. Love a bit of father. Wonderful. Anyway, sorry, Gaz. Sidetrack.
That's right. All right.
Josh Griffiths. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you know what I've heard of him, he seems like a good goalkeeper. He's played well. He's obviously, he's got some experience, and he's obviously already saved a penalty already. So fingers crossed. He has a good season. I know we had Bazzuno coming from Rochdale. Everyone wrote him off saying, was it Rochdale he come from? Bazzuno? Yeah. And everyone was saying, oh, he's rubbish. He's going to be, and all of a sudden, we were like begging him to stay. Sorry about the disco lights in the background. It's one of them solar lights. So it's like, it's going like mental.
It's a Sunday, guys. Not a disco, yeah?
Yeah, I know. It's like Sunday Malta. Like I said, when we were in Spain, I was happy with the defence and I was happy with the midfield because obviously with Pat coming in, Zach was really impressive for me in Spain. And my concern was up front. And since then, we've signed 2 strikers. So for me, it's like a birthday present, really. Obviously, there's a couple of spaces available because obviously Harness is gone now. Obviously, I know we're going to talk about later on, but obviously Cowley said there's some positions where he thinks we should be, looking into the market for. But yeah, Josh Griffiths, I wish him the utmost success for the season, and I hope he has, a really good season, basically.
Gaz has just mentioned about strengthening up top, Aaron. A way in which Danny Cowley has chosen to strengthen is by bringing in Joe Pigott. We'll talk about Marcus Harness going the other way in just a moment. I don't believe that was directly related in terms of a deal. I think it was just the fact that they were both arranged at the same time. Really strange. Friday night, 11 o'clock, I was out in the middle of London at the time and I had to sit down and have a moment because I was absolutely gutted. Your thoughts on the Joe Pigott news and what he brings to this Pompey side?
Well, we did try to get him before, didn't we? A couple of seasons ago, I think, before he actually went off to Sunderland. So I'm glad he's with us because he does bring something else, and he was good for them. He really was. He picks up the ball. He can swing it in as well. He makes play up as well, and he scores goals. So I'm very, very pleased that we've actually got more than one striker, and it looks like Danny might be playing 2 up front at some part of the season as well, instead of just having that lone striker, which we had issues with last season. It should be playing 2, but then you could play one behind the other. But yeah, I'm very interested to see how he gets on with Bishop. I think once they gel together, I know they've only just joined, but I think give it a couple of weeks and everything. Once they actually gel together, I think we're going to have a very, very good, strong striking force this year. So yeah, very pleased with it.
Oh, I don't know what's happened there, but I don't know if it was I don't know if it was me that did that, but he's just is he frozen or is he still there? I think he's frozen. I want to remove him before that gets awkward. Let's go to Alex on this one. Stop. You can tell this is the first one, can't you? We even did a rehearsal and everything.
Out of practice.
What Ollie said at the bottom, Hayward, I think we're only a centre-back and a pacey forward away from being a real quality side. I'd maybe change pacey forward to right winger. I think he's back. I hope he's back. I'll give him a bit of a chance to get back. What are your thoughts on that, and do you agree?
I don't think that's very far away at all. I think, another centre-half is probably quite crucial to the season. I know Rafferty can play there, but sounds like he's had a great pre-season at right back, so I don't really know if we want to, move him into centre half if we need him. Doesn't sound like Minogue's quite there yet, from what I've heard. We know he's a bit rash here and there, but he's young. He's obviously gonna be picking that up and learning. But yeah, obviously Raggett coming back in, you'd expect him to be number 1 with Robbo back there, depending on who we get in. But I think we just need a bit more cover there just to be comfortable if there's any injuries. And then right wing is a no-brainer. We've lost Harness. There's no one else really who's going to play there except Rico, and obviously he's got his left foot, and that's about it at the moment. He's very good on his left foot, but I think we kind of need someone that can go both ways. And I think we've had issues with that on both sides in the season. With Curtis likes his right foot, Rico likes his left foot, but it's a case of who do we get in? I know Danny's not obviously going to rush to get someone in potentially who is just going to do a little bit of a job here and there. He probably wants some top quality, and I'd say we can probably warrant that with the money we've got for Harness.
Brendan, are there any names that haven't been mentioned thus far that you think ought to be part of the shopping list for Danny Cowley in the next week or so?
Coming in, it's a tough one really, because it's like Well, obviously we all want George Hurst, don't we? That's the one that's out there, isn't it? Everyone mentions George Hurst. But if he comes, as Danny said out in Spain to yourselves, we need to move heaven and earth if we want to get George Hurst back in the side. I'm not 100% sure on who I want to bring in myself. I'll leave that down to Danny to make his decision on who he wants, because I could say somebody and that's not who Danny wants. But he's the man with the plan. He's got the master plan to get us up. So I'll leave that down to Danny who he wants in. But George Hurst,
I would hope by now he's obviously got some contact already with people, if I'm honest, because what we don't want is people that nobody else wants. So ideally, we want somebody that's that we can try and prize away from a team that possibly already welcomed. I just don't.
Yeah, I've seen one rumor about the lad McCurdy from Swindon, but I don't know if that's just one person making it up on Facebook and it going around. But yeah, that's a player that's obviously done really well last season. I think it was 19 goals in 36 or something for Swindon. It's just attitude-wise, is he there? But yeah, I agree with you guys. It's just a tough one, isn't it? Fine line between last end of the window and people being because no one wants them, or exactly.
It's like a disco, isn't it? You get the lights come on and whatever girl's left over, you know what I mean? It's
like in your flat, mate.
Boys, what are our thoughts on this from the legend Sean Meads? Got to start a season home, means to go on aggressive, learn to kill teams off home and away. How important is it? We'll come to Aaron on it, in getting in there early doors, and I think Sean said it. Starters, you mean to go on day one. We talked about the team gelling earlier, but it will be, let's say, the weakness is the sort of while every team needs to adjust. Pompey recruited, 5, or it'll probably be 6 or 7 by the time we first kick a ball at Hillsborough. How important is it that Pompey are the fastest to adapt and try and take the league by storm in that manner?
Oh, straight away. Normally, I would say for the first 10 games, that's going to tell you what we're going to be like for the rest of the season. I'm going to say the first 6 is really important. We got to hit straight away. First game is going to be tough, only because Sheffield Wednesday and us, both of them are going to be nervous. First game of the season, they don't want to drop points, so it's going to be a very defensive game, and it's going to be hopefully a 1-2-0 win. But the first 6 games, if we can actually get results on every single one of them, then that stamps our foot on the league straight away. And then we just go stronger and stronger and stronger. Then come January, get another couple of players in, and then just go for it. This is the year. We got no excuses now. No playoffs. I don't want playoffs. I just automatics or champions. That's it for me. It's got to be done this year.
Hayward, how proud and pleased are we that it's a majority of permanent signings as opposed to loan deals, and how much is that going to be important for the upcoming campaign?
Yeah, I think it's good. Obviously, we want players, and I think that we're all probably in the agreement that we think that players that we actually own potentially will put a little bit more in. They're at the end of the day, that's then their permanent job. They can't just kind of go back to where they've come from if it hasn't gone well. We've seen with Tyler Walker, Miguel Aziz, and Hadmi, they all came in and it was a bit like, okay, well, it didn't really work, but they've got a fallback option. So yeah, I think it's really good that we've got permanent deals. Obviously, that comes with a risk. We've had a permanent deals for John Marquis, didn't work there, and he was obviously on a lot of money, and as was Ellis Harrison. So I think there's pros and cons to it. Just on the start of the season, I don't think it's as important as you say, Aaron. I think that we've had a really good start to the season before with Kenny Jackett, been top at Christmas, then it's all crumbled. We've had a really poor start to the season with Paul Cook before, and then we've won the league. So I think there's plenty of games this season. It's 46 games. I can predict it now. We lose to Sheffield Wednesday, who are going to be one of the best teams, if not, the best team in the league. On the weekend, it's going to be meltdown all over Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and it's just going to be one of those where we barely start the season. We're 3 points behind people, but it really doesn't matter. Obviously, it'd be nice to win. I think we do need to stamp our authority in the sense of saying, we're here. But I don't think us winning, the first 6 or whatever, like we did at one season, where we went the first 10 and won so many of them and didn't get beat with Jackett, and then it all crumbled. So, yeah, I think it would be nice, but I don't think it's crucial.
I mean, Alex, I am flying over next week for the Sheffield Wednesday game, yeah? Just so you know.
Yeah, obviously it's crucial for your air miles, mate. But in terms of the 46
I would like a win if it's all right with you.
I want goals.
Yeah.
I'm not going there for a draw. like Ipswich.
Yeah, 0-0.
You need a
Don't do
4-0
that.
win.
We need a 4-0 win. That's what it's all about. Just on the comment at the bottom of the screen, confidence for playoffs and autos, confidence based upon. We will cover that in just a moment. I just want to get through the last little bit of transfers and then we'll go on to pre-season predictions. Steve has said, I think we're a winger forwards for cover and centre half away from being a real force in League One this season. A couple of people predicting where Pompey are going to finish this year as well. Well, I'd just say before we go to Gaz on his. It was quite appalled when the Aidan O'Brien story dropped and the news that he'd gone to Shrewsbury. So we'll get a bit of reaction on that. Before we do so, there's 194 people in the stream. There's only 51 likes that I'm looking at on the YouTube page. That might be a little bit more than that by now. If you could head down there, drop the stream a like. We'll try and get near 100 if we possibly can. Sorry about that feedback. Yeah, 51. So let's get that going up. We've also got a poll running on the live chat as well. At the moment, I put it in right at the start of the stream. It says it's just disappeared. Where's it gone? Who's your Pompey signing of the summer so far? The options were Marlon Pack, Colby Bishop, Joe Pigott, and another player not mentioned. A whopping 48% have gone for Marlon Pack, so Brexit-style voting there. Colby Bishop stands at 32, Joe Pigott 13, and another player not mentioned 7%. So the majority is Marlon Pack on that one. Aidan O'Brien, Gaz, and the departure of Marcus Harness as well. Your thoughts on those two briefly?
Well, obviously, O'Brien, we gave him a chance, didn't we? Because he wasn't doing nothing at Sunderland, and obviously, we thought we'd give him a chance, and I thought he was going to stay, if I'm honest. But again, we've been let down by obviously the powers of above, whether it's the money or what. But for me, it's like a player I would have liked to have kept. Because it looked like he wanted to play with passion. But but again, it's difficult as well because obviously we've got Bishop now, and obviously we're going to get Hurst. That's my hope. But would he be a string striker? But someone to come on, like he did when he come on for us at the tail end of the season. He played his heart out, didn't he? And he got us the odd goal. So I would have liked to have kept him. But does he want to be a squad player or does he want to play, regular football? It's up to him, I guess. But it is one of them. Harness, we've had debates for the last 2 years between us all, haven't we? Whether he should stay, whether he should go. I think the time was probably right for him to go. I think he was ready to go last season. I wish him best. Obviously, not the team that I would have liked to send him to, but I wish him all the best. That's it, really, with him.
There we go. Lovely. Thank you for the time being, gents. We're going to move on to our pre-season predictions. I'm hoping that people have got a couple of names in their arsenal. At some point, I'm going to try and basically, Andrew stood next to me and his technology has gone horrendously wrong. So we're going to try and, I might even try and put a seat next to me here while we go to a couple of VTs. But we have got a really got a really exciting game of the weekend that we've mentioned a number of times already. But just in case you weren't aware, if you've been living under a rock, this is Pompey's season opener. It's a big trip up to Hillsborough, and it's going to take us a while to get there, take us a while to get back. Hopefully, we will be celebrating 3 points as a result. Barry Bannon's the man there. Hopefully, that man on the right-hand side, Colby Bishop, can make a material difference to the outcome of that game. We are going to be talking to a Sheffield Wednesday fan very shortly on the stream as well. But now is the time, ladies and gents, for you to get your position for where Pompey will be come the end of the season into the live chat. So whether you're one of the 204 people watching on YouTube right now, or you're watching across Facebook or Twitter or wherever you might be, drop a first, for example, second, third, fourth for Pompey. I want to see the stream. We're going to get through as many as we can. While you're doing that, I'm going to go round the group. We'll go in a clockwise direction. Aaron, where are Pompey finishing come the end of the season this year?
This year, we're going to be champions. First place.
He's got a punch.
Love it.
Listening, Tom.
Hey, Gaz, what are we going for?
I'm going to be more realistic and definitely playoffs with a shout for second place. I'm going to say 3 or 4. That's my aspiration.
Haywood?
I'm going to go 5th. I think we'll make playoffs. I just don't think I think some of the teams are so strong this season. We've got one of the hardest League Ones there's been for years. We're looking at bloody Sheffield Wednesday, Derby talking about Kemar Roof. I mean, how's that even happening? So, yeah, 5th.
Just before we go to Brendan, I'm going to kind of gauge the room a little bit. So Setty's going for second. Harvey Williams reckons we're going to win the playoff in fifth. Brian said second. Cam Vlogs, the Plymouth fan, said ninth. Sixth from Liam. Fifth from Callum. TPO's going for sixth. Third for TG Jamie. 4-4 fifth from LS_03. Ollie Clark reckons fifth. Kevin Hutchinson's gone for fourth. Graham said second. Toby said second. Richard saying fifth. Ninth, sixth. Dan's hoping we sneak playoffs on Facebook. Perry reckons we're going to bottle the playoffs. I assume that's about Aaron. Has he been drinking? There we go. Second player, Pompey Bishop with 25 goals. And Owen, that is a wonderful profile picture. Fourth, third, fifth, and win playoffs. Seventh. First place from Chris. That is the first man I've seen agreeing with Aaron. Champions would be lovely, but I don't think we'll get past Wednesday. Well, we're Sunday now, so only a couple of days to go. Pompey finished first off of the table. Seventh, first and second gone. Seventh, sixth, or seventh. So with that in mind, Brendan, gauging the room, I reckon there was an average of probably fifth, I want to say, in there. What do you reckon?
I reckon it's pretty spot on. We're definitely in the playoffs this year, I think. We get the right form and not as streaky as we were last year. I think we're definitely looking at in the playoffs. So I'll go with fifth as well, actually.
Okay, amazing. And what we'll do now then is we'll go around the group again and try and get a little bit of a discussion going. 4 teams in your mind. It can be Pompey and 3 others, or it can be no teams. And I don't think Aaron's 4 are going to include Pompey at any point. Brendan's got his Nicky Cowley out, and we'll go around the room once again. 4 teams you got in mind as playoff positions, and then stick a playoff winner on the end of that. Aaron, what are you going for?
Well, if we did end up in the playoffs,
just to interrupt, everyone get on that now and do that in the comments. I should have said that before we got going. So only 4 teams plus a winner of the playoffs. Aaron, floor's yours. Very sorry to interrupt. Carry on.
Blimey. Well, I reckon Derby will lose the playoff final with Sheffield Wednesday with them. So Sheffield Wednesday will go up ultimate for playoff winners. I think Oxford's going to be up there again. Yeah, they seem a bit. Yeah, I think they've, after the last couple of years as well, I think they've got a bit of an attitude. They need to get there as well. But I just hope Derby fail to get up and Ipswich, absolutely, one for Alex. I think Ipswich are going to be up there as well this year. Hopefully Harness won't be their top goal scorer. So that's my 4. That's my 4.
I saw I don't know who said it, but someone was like, "Oh, I really hope that Harness is on his one of his 1 out of 10 games when we play them both times next season," which I just don't see happening. Anyway, you didn't mention a second place team, Aaron. If we're going for a Pompey to finish top, I'm thinking. You ever mentioned Charlton, Plymouth, Peterborough, Barnsley? Derby. None of those. I think Derby were going to lose the playoffs, weren't they? I think you said.
Yeah. Derby's going to lose the playoffs. I think Peterborough would be up there actually, because they come straight back down, didn't they? So, yeah, I think they'll be in the mix and everything as well this year.
Mike said, were you by any chance the TalkSport offices in a week, Tom? Yes, I was, Mike. I don't know how you know that. That's scary, but there we go. What's he got against Derby, says DJ. I don't think I've got anything against anyone. It's just a general prediction. Dan's going for Sheffield Wednesday, Derby, top 2, Oxford and Pompey. TPO reckons Pompey, Derby, Ipswich, Barnsley, Sheffield Wednesday and Peterborough to win the league. Cam's saying 3rd Ipswich, 4th Barnsley, 5th. So I'm hoping, Cam, that you... Oh, no, I think you might have said Pompey 8th or something, which is a little bit of an embarrassment. Will was going for Barnsley, Ipswich, Derby and Pompey. Gaz, are we kind of gauging the same sort of thing? What do you reckon?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, it's a bit of a bounce-back ability, isn't it? You know, got Derby, Barnsley, they've already played, championship football, and they've obviously got a bit of money, bit of squad. I mean, Derby have spent a lot of money to try and get back to that championship. So I do grudge them, obviously, but I don't begrudge them of winning it, because obviously they've spent big and they've got some good players there. Ipswich tried that last year. It failed, but obviously they're not coming down from the championship. So, but Ipswich will be there and abouts. Derby, Wednesday, obviously ourselves. For some reason, I think Bolton played really well last season. I think they could have a good shout again for playoffs this season. So that's sort of where I'm at. The top 6 anyway for me.
There we go. Thank you for that. In just a moment to come to Hayward, but again, I wanted to get through a few more. So Pompey, Barnsley, Sheffield Wednesday, and Ipswich, Derby. I think it's really important to mention Derby because they have spent massively, and some clubs have really splashed the cash. And that doesn't also work, does it, Gaz? Quite a lot of the time, as we know. So Jay's going Wednesday, Posh, and Derby up for me. Anthony saying Ipswich, Peterborough, Bolton, Pompey to win the playoffs. Sheffield Wednesday, Derby, Ipswich, Peterborough. Quite a lot of people going. I'm seeing a lot of Wednesdays, Hayward. I'm seeing a lot of Derbys, a lot of Ipswich in the mix as well. Is that straightforward as that?
No, it's never straightforward, is it? We know it's not straightforward. You don't just spend money in and go up, but equally, and that's why I think Sheffield Wednesday win the league this year. I think they got too much quality. I think we saw it. To be fair, at times last season they were just a bit on and off. I think they were unlucky to lose the semi-final for the playoffs as well. But yeah, I think Sheffield Wednesday win the league. I think Derby will be there or thereabouts. I know that Wigan did something similar where they had a load of new players in. We all thought it won't work, and then they managed to make it work. I think Derby are throwing cash at players and they're getting good players in. So I think they'll be there. I think Peterborough will be there, and it really pains me, but I just know Wickham will be there or thereabouts somehow, and I just really hate that club. But they'll be there, and Gareth Ainsworth will be gloating about it. It's really tough. I think we'll win playoffs. That's what I've got to say. If I can't be negative at the start of the season, but I think Ipswich, Peterborough, us, and maybe Wickham in the playoffs. That'll be my four. That'll be my four. Cool. What's Brendan saying?
Brendan, you've got your Nicky Cowley out. Go on, give it to us.
Right. So this is 4 teams who's going to bottle it, who aren't going to make the playoffs.
Like that. MK honorary mentions.
MK Dons have lost their star man in Scott Twine. We know Ryan Stilwell loves Scott Twine, so he's gone to the championship. So I reckon MK Dons aren't going to be as strong as they were last season. Ipswich, I think they're not going to make it. They're notoriously throw loads of money at it, get no results. I think they're going to bottle it as well. Plymouth, again, notorious bottle jobs their whole life, really.
Say that. Plymouth fans watching.
The amount of stick I got in the comments after that Plymouth game away about being salty.
We got a bit. It's a couple on Twitter, weren't there? Yeah. Okay, you can give some back, Brendan. Go on. Who were your actual team to be in there then? What we thinking?
So I think Pompey, obviously, Wickham because they're just horrible negative football, but that gets them results. Barnsley as well. I know they had a terrible term last year. They couldn't get the results in the championship, but I think that they'll be a surprise package this year, really. And then Derby, I think that they'll get in the playoffs because, again, but they're not thereabouts. They won't make the automatics, I don't think, because it's just a bit. Yeah, they spent loads of money. They've got a decent striker in David McGoldrick, who done well for Republic of Ireland international, who retired last year. Wasn't particularly prolific, but he'll bring players into it and get us results. And that's what I think. Top 2. Do you want my top 2 as well, Tom?
Very quickly, go for it.
Wednesday champions and Peterborough second. I think Clark Harris is going to have a better season than he had last year.
League One.
We've got a lot of Wednesday chat, Wednesday second from a Wednesday fan. We are going to get at a Wednesday fan's opinion in just a moment. Before we do so, this is what I've managed to gather over the last couple of days from my point of view. I'm sure we'll get a lot more from Jake in just a moment. But this is Pompey's upcoming opposition. Pompey's curtain opener means Danny Cowley's outfit make the trip to Hillsborough in South Yorkshire for the second time in just a matter of months to face a Sheffield Wednesday team who are among the best recruiters in the division this summer. Michael Ehekwe, Michael Smith, Will Vauxhall and keeper David Stockdale are just some of the names added to Wednesday's already talent-heavy team. Many of those have arrived on free transfer deals, Smith and Ehekwe controversially and unconventionally crossing the South Yorkshire divide from promoted Rotherham United earlier in the summer. Starman Barry Bannon is widely considered one of the best individuals in the league in his position and across League One, and ours fans are widely expecting their team to go that one better under Darren Moore this time around. Pompey are likely to be without George Hurst for this trip to the home of the Wednesdayites, who was the only man to score for the Blues last time around in our 4-1 loss on the final day of last season. Can we just take a moment to appreciate the scenes, by the way? Utter carnage going on there. Good evening to Jake. Welcome along to the stream, mate. Lovely to have you with us. Thanks for spending a bit of time with us. I think he's been listening to the majority of what we've been talking about tonight. Good news. How do you see what we've been talking about, and where do Wednesday fit into this League One season?
It's an interesting one this season because we've got money to spend, but we've done the same route we did last year, getting free transfers in. And you don't have to spend big to get out of this league. It's been shown for years. If you're sensible with what you look for. Our biggest thing for years has been we're not very good at defending. As you noticed last season when you played us, we're bad at defending set pieces. So we boosted that defense. So we got Ben Hennigan from AFC Wimbledon, Michael Owetwe, you got Will Vokes, defensive midfielder. A lot of the people we got in are centre backs at the minute. But it's going to be interesting because the rumour today that we're at the roof as well. I personally think we need a bit of pace in the team. It's a little bit slow. But then you look at what we've lost in terms of what's gone. We've lost Mendes Lang, we've lost Shea Dunkley, we've lost Sam Hutchinson, who's gone to sign for Reading. Good luck to him. Joe Wildsmith, Massimo Luongo, and Saido Barahino. So it's going to be an interesting one. I'm confident this year. Last season, I actually had us finishing mid-table because of us coming down from the Championship and getting used to it. So I was pleasantly surprised last season to get playoffs.
Amazing. I'm assuming you were watching the VT that I brought you in on. When I said Darren Moore wants to go one better, what do you think the likelihood of that happening is this season?
It depends if we get this defensive situation sorted. At the weekend we play Wigan, we look good for the first 20 minutes, and then the defensive mess ups that we've seen for a while started creeping in again. And you can't say it's the same players because it's the new back four. We've got David Stockdale in net now as well, who's class keeper for this, and I still don't get how we got him as a free from Wickham because Wickham would have definitely wanted to keep him. So I think he can, but I think we're probably 2 or 3 players away. I still want 2 more centre backs because we haven't got much cover. We're still looking at possibly getting Wilkes from Hull. That's still up in the air. That if we get that, I think we're going to be quite a scary team because you're looking at the forward line. You've got Smith, you've got Gregory, you've got Windass, who hardly played last season. And if you get something like Wilkes and say a Kemar Roof, if we do, that's a scary front line in League One. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. And the thing that everyone always said, Barry Bannon is a cheat code in this league, but I think we've now got 2 with having Will Vokes there. Because I think if you've got a midfield 3 of saying Barry Bannon, Will Vokes and George Byers, that's just silly for League One.
Yeah, there was a comment on the chat, and you might have seen it pop up, that Wednesday will put too much pressure on themselves this season to get up. How do you feel about that?
It's the Wednesday way. It does happen. There's a lot of pressure on us because of the way we've built this team this year. And Darren Moore, I want it to go for Darren Moore because Darren Moore's a very good manager at this level. He's never had a promotion. He'd been backed by the gaffer this time, more so. And the thing, we did our business really early. Last year, our first signing came on the 10th of July because we weren't allowed to register players. We got all our business done. A lot of them went on pre-season, which means there's been some gel in there, which hopefully that'll help for next season. But I'm optimistically that we can do it. But if these defensive situations happen, it could be the same as last season because there were times last season where we just shut off at the 60th minute thinking it's game done, or we just... It's a really interesting one because Darren Moore got the tools there to do it. And I don't want it to be someone comes in halfway through the season and finishes what Darren Moore does because that doesn't seem fair, but we've done it before. We had that when we first got out of here a couple of seasons ago when Gary Megson was in charge and then Dave Jones came and finished it off. Sometimes you need that person just to push it. But it's going to be interesting. I'm interested to see what Wednesday turn up because pre-season's not been great.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about that? How your preparation's been ahead of Pompey next weekend?
0-0 draw versus Alton Town, 2-0 to Harrogate, lost 2-0 to Rayo Vallecano, got stuffed 4-1 the weekend by Wigan. We lost 2-1 to Bournemouth in Portugal, and we lost 3-1 to Middlesbrough behind the closed doors. But
It's not been great.
But
Bring on
Wednesday, there's a theory in my head. When we have a bad preseason, we have a good season.
Preseason means nothing. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
it's all about fitness. It was really funny watching Wednesday fans meltdown that we lost to Wigan at the weekend and going,
Yeah,
is the game
we'll
not
do,
next week that actually matters?
We'll do the
And-
classic Pompey and we'll build you guys back up. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah.
I'm
It
just
wouldn't
quite happy
surprise
I haven't got George Hurst again. That was horrible watching him go.
Hey,
Yeah.
He's a great no,
there's
right.
still time.
He's a great player. He's a great player, and I wished it worked out at Wednesday, but there was a owner, dad, son issue that blew up.
There was. We've kind of touched on it there. What are you expecting from Pompey next weekend, Jake? Can you tell us a little bit about how you're feeling ahead of?
I
next
seen
Saturday?
your transfer window, and I'm very impressed with it so far. I don't think you're gonna have that season where you start really well and you just drop off to like mid-table. I think you've got a situation this season where you're actually gonna, where you normally drop off, I think you're gonna hit another level. Danny Cowley built really good connections, and when you were talking about the gelling, if you're already gelling in pre-season, you're halfway there. That's half the battle, because Ipswich last season, they brought in 19 players. They didn't gel till Christmas, and that's why it screwed up. And you look at, they got a new manager. Like I said, new manager comes in, different things, and it changes. You've got players that can change. Colby Bishop is an excellent signing for this league. He's done really well at Atkinson Stanley. I think he's very underrated personally, because he's in that same level of a Cole Stockton if he gets the right service and the right game start, if you know what I mean. And the thing is, what people also need to remember, the transfer window's not dead yet. This is what people keep saying. They keep turning around and going, oh, well, we've only got this. The transfer window's September the 1st. That's when it ends. You've got entire August to reassess your squad halfway through and go, right, I need this, this, and this. And I think Danny Cowley and the Cowley brothers are very good at going, we know what we need. We know what we're missing. Yes, your big thing is having to do a new keeper, but again, Griffiths is an excellent keeper. I think you're building quite a good bedrock this season.
Is there anyone in the stream and even in the chat? I wanted to open the floor up. Did you want to ask Jake a question with regards to Sheffield Wednesday or any of his thoughts ahead of the season?
Yeah, I'd say, is it concerning to yourself, or do you understand the fact that you got a brilliant defender as a gaffer in Darren Moore, obviously being a former,
and we can't defend.
Yeah, you can't defend forward. Is that a bit concerning for you?
It is, because as an ex-defender, you would have thought that's the place where it would be the most tight. And I don't know if he's doing defensive drills. I don't know if he's got someone else doing it. And it's a worry. And the fact that after the game at Wigan, he actually came out and said, that is still not good enough. Why is this still happening? The fact that he can't get his finger on it is worrying, because he's the person that works with him day in, day out. So he got to find what the issue is. And I've always had the thing, if you have a manager who's a striker, your striker should be top notch. If you have a gaffer who's a midfield, you should have midfield maestros. And if he's a defender, your defenses should be watertight. No one should be able to break that breach. And it makes you wonder what's going on in training where they can't kind of get it. I still think it's a mental thing with Wednesday. I don't think it's an actual thing to do with actual training. I still think it's the mental side that they can't get right.
Nick said, who are you least looking forward to? Nick's a big supporter of the channel. He's a massive Pompey fan. He wants to know, Jake, who are you least looking forward to playing this season? I've got a feeling it might be the team that you face on Saturday, perhaps. Maybe even Derby, I suppose.
It's you guys, it's Derby. We do bad against like lower league teams. We did it last season. Anyone up there around us, we're fine when you were near us. So probably knowing us, it'll be Morecambe and Forest Green, because we just won't turn up because we'll think it's Forest Green, it's Morecambe. But it's Derby, it's yourselves. I think MK Dons, even though they've had a weird transition where they've got twine, I still think they're a very good club with how they recruit, and getting Will Griggs in is a very smart bit of business. And you look at what they've done the blueprint again at getting youngsters who are ready to be molded in this league, and they'll probably sell big again, which is how you run a club. take note, Sheffield Wednesday, how you run a club. You buy players, you build them up, and you sell them on for profit.
I think
Well,
this is
actually,
quite an easy one for you. If you don't get, sorry, Haywood, I'll jump in a second. If you don't get promoted, would Barry Bannon say it's probably going to be a straight no, isn't it?
Barry Bannon would have gone ages ago if he wanted to, because he's too good for this league. He's 33. I think he'll retire here. I think he's happy here. I think if he wanted to go, he could have jumped shit when we went down first time, and we could have got good money for him because he was on a good contract. I don't think Barry Bannon. It's weird to see a footballer be loyal like he's being, because it's not known this day and age. The word loyalty in football doesn't seem to mix. But the fact that he's fallen in love with the club, and again, it's another one of those things. We took a chance on him when he left. I think it was Crystal Palace. Had a bad injury record. He came in under the Carlos season. He was only on a 6-month contract, then got a new contract, then wrecked his history. I think Barry Bannon's one of those ones where I don't see him leaving unless he gets that opportunity to get to the Premiership and do well. You know what I mean?
Go on, Haywood, go for it, mate.
No, I was just going to say how much I absolutely hate this league when you're reading off Morecambe and Forest Green.
Oh God, yeah.
It's not good, is it? It's not good at all. Boys, any more words for Jake? Anyone want to jump in before he goes? I want to grab a score prediction off you as well. I just wanted to make sure that I think there was a couple in here. But will the loss of BPF put you down the order?
Bailey Peacock-Farrell was a little bit of he was good, but he had a mistake in him. The thing is,
he didn't.
The Ipswich game where he didn't drop the ball and didn't look behind him, didn't either. The thing is, what we got is, I think you look at David Stockdale and Cameron Dawson. Cameron Dawson came up last season with Exeter from League Two, had that staple of trying to look after himself. It's between them, and I think you don't really bring in David Stockdale to sit on the bench. He got Golden Gloves last year. He's a very good keeper at this level, and I prefer having a keeper that's ours. I never liked loaning keepers. I've always wanted it to be a permanent keeper, because you know what's going to normally happen. Come January, a club got an injury in the keeping section. Oh, hang on, we've got a keeper somewhere. Where are they on loan? You lose your keeper, you have to start again. So having a permanent keeper is actually really handy this season.
If you could take one Pompey player right now, what would you choose? If George Hurst was a Pompey player, I reckon it would probably... I don't know, because there's a bit of a sort of...
I would take George Hurst. I don't think a lot of the fan base would.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd probably say Bishop, who's just got.
That would be a very quick arrival, wouldn't it? It'd be very sharp.
Just because he's very good at this league. And this is the thing. You've recruited for this league. I think in the past, you've recruited for going up, not for League One, if that makes sense.
That's a fair
I think sometimes you recruit ready for Championship instead of just being a League One club. And let's be honest, both these clubs should not be a League One club. This is going to be the tightest League One season, I think, with so many big clubs down there that I've known, kind of thing. You look at who's down there: Ipswich, us, Pompey, Derby. There's some very big clubs down here that really shouldn't be.
Go on, Brendan, go for it.
That point you made there about this being the toughest league. Our points total last year, and we come 9th. So we got, how many points last year? Like 70 or 80 or 79 points, 78 points. That was less than what Kenny Jackett got in his first year at Pompey, and we finished 8th. So we got less points and finished higher in the table in our first year in this league.
Well, we got 84 points last season, and any other season, that's promotion.
Yeah, exactly. It is.
So it just shows you how it getting to the point where you look at the actual leagues. You've got like a mini Premier League in the Championship, and League One and League Two. They're in their own little areas like championships kind of thing, because that's how it's starting to feel now, isn't it? Because you've got so many clubs. Granted, there's clubs that have come down like Derby. They're on a big rebuild, and Derby technically haven't spent money. They just can't sign on transfer fees and stuff. But there is that thing from us as fans who are not Derby fans. We look at what's going on going, well, how have you got Conor Hurahan? How have you got this player? How have you got...
They're probably paying him 15 grand a week.
With everything they've gone through. Like when we had situations when we had the point deduction, we had a point deduction and a transfer embargo. We weren't allowed to sign players. It's like, what's going on? And to be fair, I think Derby will make it interesting, but the nice thing is, and sorry if you're a Derby fan in here, it's not Wayne Rooney Derby County now. They can go back to being Derby County, which is lovely.
Yeah, absolutely. Just before we let you go, thanks for spending so much time with us, mate. Really appreciate it.
No,
Quite
I
a few
appreciate
people
it. It's been really good watch.
going for thanks very much. It's our inaugural one, so I'm glad it's been good. Quite a lot of sort of wins for Wednesday, not coming from Pompey fans, which is strange. But I think Cornish Pompey's gone. I think we'll beat Wednesday on Saturday. What's your score prediction? You can go head and then you can go heart or whatever you want. But what would you go for right now?
Heart
Given
going,
that there's still a week in terms of transfers as well, which is important to
Heart going 2-1 Wednesday. Head going, it's going to be the usual kind of 0-0, everyone starting to get to know the league. And, like a boxing match, when a boxing match starts and you're not really wanting to overdo it. Because I know for a fact, if when they do overdo it, our treatment room will be full again like it was last season. So I think there's going to be a situation where it's going to be your usual opener unless something happens that just goes and kicks off. And the deja vu that we were the last two teams to play each other last season, we now start it, is a bit weird.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Yeah, Gaz won't be happy that you've gone for a 0-0, mate. He's over he, as you can see up in the top right-hand corner of your screen, he's in Malta. He's a little bit darker than the rest of us. He's coming all the way to Hillsborough next weekend.
Hey, it might be a lot hotter than it is in Malta next week. I'm just saying.
This is true, yeah. Sunny Sheffield. Jake, thanks so much for thanks for spending so much time with us, mate. Hopefully we'll see you at Hillsborough.
Yeah, you will. And great first stream. Good luck for the season, guys. And let's just see where the season goes. And we've got proper football back. And it doesn't feel like that long ago since it stopped.
Yes, mate.
Thanks,
See you
Jake.
Saturday.
See you Saturday. Bye, guys.
We just mentioned it there. Sheffield Wednesday Pompey is live at Hillsborough. There's going to be quite a few of us in the stream doing it. I'm just watching Brendan adjust himself while he's got a little bit of a break in the background. That was quite distracting. Colby Bishop's going to be the man to bag them all, hopefully. That Barry Bannon as the cheat code for League One as well. Right, what we're going to do now then, we've gone well over what I was expecting, but there's still 200 plus people in on the stream, so we'll crack on for a little bit longer. We've got a little bit more time just to go through. Gents, if there's anything we haven't mentioned, we haven't covered the South Stand, how good that's looking. I'm looking around. There aren't any South Stand people sitting, so that's not a problem. I can probably just discuss a little bit about that. Aaron, ownership gets knocked at Pompey, rightfully so, given our relatively recent history, but that's something you can't knock, is it? The way the South Stand and indeed the North Stand, where Brendan, I'm sure, will be able to tell us about, is looking right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Everyone knocks the owners, and sometimes you think, yeah, what are they doing? What are they doing? But if everyone can remember from that meeting all them years ago, they said we are not chucking stupid amounts of money into the squad and everything. They said brick by brick, and they are doing what they'd said they would do. They're starting to do the infrastructure. We've now got a training facility. This is the first season we're actually signing players on contracts and not many loans. So we are getting there. I think last year, if we did get promotion into the Championship, we would have been absolutely up the creek because half of our squad was loan players. This year, we're now getting in players on 2-3 year contracts. So they're now looking to progress to get into the Championship. But yeah, I back the owners 100%. I know they get a lot of grief, especially on Twitter and everything, where Eric, the amount of abuse he gets from some of the fans. But they are doing what they said they were going to do. And you got to applaud what they're doing, because I've never seen Fratton Park look so lovely. It's so nice. And I know you had the game yesterday where there was teething problems, but it was a test run to see how everything was going. It looks absolutely unbelievable. They were going to have artificial grass inside one of the concessions, but because it's a fire risk, they've got to paint it green now. So it's just like, so there's still swings and roundabouts. But I back them 100%. They are taking us in the right direction, and I cannot fault them. I cannot fault them at all.
I think what we'll do is we'll open the floor out to everyone watching. If you've got a question for myself or you've got a question for the guys on the chat, then please do. Nick, this one's for you, Gaz, I believe. Dark horses next season. We're not happy about Shrewsbury because Aidan O'Brien will probably be contributing to that. But who do you see right now?
I say we've touched based on so many teams at the moment. I mean, dark horses. I mean, unfortunately, it's not really dark. I mean, like Alex doesn't like Wickham, I know, but you know they've got that mentality. You know, they never give up. So you know, so I can't see them not being up there again. I know we haven't got them in the I know top 6 or something. We haven't mentioned them, but I think Wickham would be up there again, if I'm honest.
And they're not really a dark horse, are they? But they are, if in the kind of sense of what you're talking about.
Yeah, as in what
Brendan,
everyone's talked about them tonight. Yeah, that's the thing.
That's absolutely. I saw a comment from the guy who mentioned that this is not really. It's a great story that you might like, but I'll tell you anyway. And it's Hayward's going to be beaming in a minute. But I've been at Talksport. I still am at Talksport for a little while, and there's a guy who said, "I've spotted you." I don't know if anyone remembers the comment. I can't find it anymore. Just had a frantic scroll, but he said one of his son is one of the magazine editors in the building that I was working in, and he spotted me on my way up to the floor that I was working at, which is terrifying to think. But if he said hello, he might have said hello. I don't know, but if he did, then nice to see him. I'll probably see him around. A story from last week in London as well. I walked into Mr. Hayward, who's just underneath me, his work building. We got up to the bar on the top floor, and within, what was it, probably 30 seconds.
Well, we just ordered a beer, and then 30 seconds later.
Then a guy came up to us and said, "Oh, we really like the channel. Great to see you guys on the vids, and massive Pompey fan and whatever." And I don't think you've ever crossed paths with him before, had you? But it
never.
Was,
he actually works for the same company as me, so who knows? I might see him around.
So that was crazy, and there's plenty more stories like that we can tell you. TPO said Dark Horses Bristol Rovers, solid squad that includes John Marquis. So I'm not quite sure to the extent that we can believe that. That's one that hasn't had a mention so far. Is Bolton? I don't know if anyone wanted to jump in on Bolton and thoughts on that.
Gaz mentioned Bolton.
Oh, he did. Right,
yeah.
Cool.
Gaz did. Yeah, I think they'll be there or thereabouts again.
Should we do a golden boot predictions then?
Bannon had me, I reckon.
Yes.
Yes.
He's a terribly one against you, Tom.
That was embarrassing, wasn't it? Let's not even go there on that one. Oh, that's something we didn't mention. Relegation. I very quickly moved on because I was aware that we wanted to try and cram it into the hour, but we aren't going to do so. So we'll keep going. As long as everyone's all right to stick around, by the way, if they don't want to go. I'm sure you're absolutely loving it on here. Aaron, your 4 teams for relegation. I wonder what your thoughts are right now.
Oh, cool. Well, it's a lottery at the moment because anyone could go down. Over the last previous seasons, now we were in relegation at some point as well. So I don't think Forest Green is going to go down. I think they're going to be a dark horse this season because they've got nothing to do. They've come up. I've watched Forest Green for years, and I've always, when you used to do the bets on a Saturday, like 6 games accumulator, Forest Green was always the one that I betted on. I've stopped betting on them now, so because they come up. But it's going to be. I just hope Joey Barton's still at Bristol Rovers, so I just hope they get relegated. No disrespect to Bristol Rovers, I just don't like Joey Barton.
No.
But it's a bit difficult. Until I've seen a couple of games and everything, I wouldn't like to predict because anyone could go down. It depends on how well your team's playing.
Sorry to say, Aaron, but both of the comments I've just put up have both had Forest Green in there, so that might have, gone against the theory. I wanted to jump in. I don't often give an opinion, but Fleetwood isn't being mentioned so far, and I don't think they are. We'll have a bit of CODs vlogs in the building over the next couple of weeks. Brendan's got Fleetwood in there. I think under their new management they might be okay, but they will be sort of those bottom 6 teams perhaps. So let's go through them then. Perry's gone for Morecambe, Port Vale, Forest Green and Exeter. Port Vale and Morecambe to go down. We'll get back to that question in a second. We might even get to Westwood if we've got time. We'll see. Port Vale, Forest Green. Sorry, excuse me. Benefits of being live. When you get a bit of wind, then it all goes a bit pear-shaped and you feel like you're going to die for a second. Relegation.
I went to the doctors. He gave me a kite.
Sorry, what was that?
I said, I used to suffer with wind once. I went to the doctors and he gave me a kite. Straight over.
Dark Horse Oxford, Fleetwood will stay up. Aaron, I haven't missed you at all, mate. Ollie's going for Port Vale, Morecambe, Fleetwood and Exeter. Aki, Port Vale, Forest Green, Morecambe. We have an 8k per week wage limit. Behave. Not happy tonight, DGL 3. I think we need to. I think it might be an argument with someone else. Josh is going Premier League Championship more, League 1 second. Lovely. Morecambe's Charlton next to Bristol Rovers. Charlton not getting a mention. Hang on a second, Nick. Charlton? Really?
That's a big call. But Nick did say that Cowley's are mediocre, so you just got to pinch.
Oh, that wasn't Nick. That was who was that said that? I think he's gone now.
Oh no, sorry, wasn't it? It was
David.
Yeah, sorry, Nick. I don't think Charlton go down, do they? I think they've got too much in their squad to go down. I mean, hopefully they don't have a great season. But
I think what they're on about with Charlton is actually being up in the top part of the table, not the bottom.
I think they'll finish somewhere around 8th or 9th again.
Gaz, who are you teams to go down?
Shrewsbury. I don't think. No, Shrewsbury. I don't really like that team, but and then Fleetwood. I think they've had too many chances. I think they'll go down. Just to start the the banter between us and the Cods.
Early doors, get it in there. Yeah, like it.
Get it in early. Yeah. Possibly Lincoln City. I'd like to get them. It's basically the teams that I don't want in our league anymore getting relegated.
Mate, we need to get out of the league. We need to just get out of this league, and then we can leave them behind.
I could say Sheffield Wednesday. I could say Wickham. Get rid of them all. You know what I mean?
We've got a Lincoln fan he's another Jake who would be coming on next week, Gaz. So we'll put you both head to head, and you can battle it out over Lincoln. Haywood, have you said yours? Who have you gone for?
No, I really hope that Morecambe go down. Still, Barry Roach just haunts me every nightmare every other night with that last minute winner or equaliser. I hope they go down. I hope Forest Green go down. The amount of accumulators they lost me last year, like Aaron. I think Port Vale will struggle. I think Cheltenham could struggle. I think Rovers will stay up. But yeah, I think those four will struggle a lot this year.
Brendan?
With Brendan saying with the iPad.
Yeah, so got Port Vale bottom. I think they're going to struggle. Morecambe 23rd, Exeter 22nd, and Fleetwood 21st. It's Scott Brown's first job in it at Fleetwood, the former Celtic midfielder.
They love angry men at Fleetwood in charge, don't they?
Oh, they love angry men, yeah.
Prison Fleetwood, I think they call it sometimes.
Yeah,
but now I remember Joe Barton's at Bristol Rovers. I want them relegated as well. So I'll Exeter stay up and Rovers down.
Cool.
I think
amazing.
Tom, I got to jump in a second, but I just wanted to say I think that with the league being so competitive, like we were saying, I think that the difference between the top 12 and the bottom 12 is going to be so vast this year. I think it will be a case of a lot of weeks. Some of these teams that do go up or win the league will just be hammering all of the bottom 12 every single time and then getting the wins where they need them in the 6-pointers. But yeah, I think there's a massive amount of difference in class and money, which is obviously going to contribute to it between the top, let's say top 10 and the rest of the 14 in the league.
I've seen a lot of comments regarding go on.
Hopefully we'll have if it's going to be that much of a difference between the top and the bottom, we should have at least 12 4-0 written all over it.
Well, we shall see.
Maybe 24. Home and away.
I tell you what, I can't wait for 4-0s to have happened at the weekend. Then we come on here on a Sunday. We can all be celebrating, get the jammy dodgers going everywhere and all sorts. Haywood's got to shoot, so very quickly we'll start with him with a score prediction for Saturday. Son, go on, hit us with it.
As much as I hate to say it, I'm saying 1-0 Wednesday is what my head says. Heart says 2-1 Pompey, but I just think it's going to be a bit of a cagey affair. We're always on the end of the wrong end of a cagey affair, but for Gaz's sake, 4-0 Pompey. George House will be there. Bagger Hattie, Michael Smith injury for the season, and then we're on.
Amazing. See you later, mate. Have a good one.
Lovely to see you, chap. See you later.
Take care. I should say I had a message from Brooke, who has recently become our new channel and content manager, and he said that it's all gone well tonight, which is good to see. So thanks, Brooke, if you're still around, mate.
Big up, Brooke.
Appreciate it. Big up, Brooke. I wish we could go into quarters because I suppose we're all right as whatever. Yeah, cool. Boys and girls, now is the time to get your score prediction for Sheffield Wednesday against Portsmouth. I would argue probably the biggest opening weekend game in League One, and you could even argue in the Championship as well, because it is a big one. It's a blockbuster. It's a marquee one, and it's a great way to open it, and we're really looking forward to bringing it to you here. 3 of us on the stream are going to be there in person, ready to bring the Fournilwrittenalloverit to you. Aaron sadly can't make it, but he's going to be in Barnet, so there you go. While we wait for the score predictions to come in, let's have a look. So, Brendan, what are you? Oh my word! I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that at all. Brendan, what are we going for Saturday, mate? Looking forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, mate, I'm buzzing for it. It's been a great job and bring the missus along for her first Pompey away day. So get her hooked
Amazing.
and she'll hopefully she'll come to a few more this season as well. Yeah, unfortunately, Dad's on holiday, so there'll be no Dad here this week. But yeah, I want to. Obviously, you want to win, don't you? Want to win 3-2. That's from my heart. Heart wants 3-2. Head is saying a 2-2 draw, but 3-2 Pompey.
Gaz, you want goals?
I do, yeah. Yeah, 3-1 Pompey. I'm not coming all the way from Malta for a 0-0. So I'm going to hit the ground running. 3-1 Pompey.
Let's go through all of these then. Ross is saying we're getting battered 5-1 on Saturday. Before we come to Aaron, another nice profile picture from Owen. 3-1 Pompey, Bishop with 3. 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 2-0 for the Blues. 2-1 Wednesday, 1-0, 5-0 Pompey from the legend. 2-1 Pompey, 2-2 Bishop with both. Feed the Pig from Albie Mullins on Facebook. I've seen that's been around a little bit. 3-2 Pompey, Piggy last minute winner. Got to be a 4-0 Pompey. That's the first one I'm happy with. Still got George Ursus' profile picture as well. Would you believe it? The thumbnail for this video was very quickly changed from Colby Bishop, from George Ursus to Colby Bishop over the last couple of days. Ross Morgan said, he's already said 5-1 Wednesday. Phil said 3-2 Pompey. 3-4 win to Pompey. 2-all from Max Delph. 1-all says Mitchell. 3-2 Pompey says Phil. Aaron, what we going for, mate?
Heart says 4-0, but my head says a 92nd winner by George Hurst, make it 2-1.
Amazing. There we go. That's good to hear. Right, gentlemen, thank you very much for jumping on. Thank you to everyone for joining us. We'll wrap that up there. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's gone much better than I thought it was going to go. So that's all good. Thank you to all your comments. I'm glad we got a bit of interaction going. What we'll do just finally is we'll very quickly head over to the poll and see what the end results of that were. Your Pompey signing of the summer so far, 46% have gone Marlon Pack. Colby Bishop is 34, so not too much in between those two. Joe Pigott on 12 and another player not mentioned on 8%. Thanks for joining us, gents. It's been an absolute pleasure. I will see 3 of you on Saturday at Sheffield Wednesday. I want to go for a 4-0 Pompey for that one. Look forward to seeing you all there. Thanks for sticking with us all night for an hour and 20 minutes. Bumper 80-minute special here on Fournilwrittenalloverit. They won't all be this long. If we've got more to chat about, we might extend them. Who knows? If you got any feedback on what you've seen, drop it as a comment or send me a message. If you enjoyed yourselves, then drop a like before you go, and we will see you next Saturday in Hillsborough. Play up Pompey. Thanks, guys.
That was banging, Tom. Great job, mate.